Hello, welcome to my channel. In last lecture we have started with new chapter, that is pharmacokinetics. So after that we have already seen the introductory part of pharmacokinetic. It is nothing but absorption, distribution, metabolism and excretion of drug from your body. After that we have also seen some biological membrane, what is actually image of biological membrane and how it is acting into absorption process. Afterwards we have also seen some transporter, that is we have seen three type of transporter. Okay, in this chapter we'll start with actual process of pharmacokinetic. That is, first action is absorption. Absorption is movement of drug from its site of administration into systemic circulation. It is normally for all route of administration but except IV route, because IV it is directly given into blood circulation, so there is no need to cross any biological membrane for IV. But for other route of administration, that is normally for oral administration, the drug has to cross biological membrane. To produce desired effect, drug must achieve adequate concentration at its site of action, and it is done by absorption only. There is one term called as bioavailability. So bioavailability is nothing but the it is defined as amount of drug that is absorbed and reaches the systemic circulation. Means whatever drug it is absorbed into your body and it is reaching your systemic circulation after crossing all the transporter or different transporter which are present into your body. Then bioavailability is a concept for only and only for oral administration. It is not for IV administration. It is generally concept for the oral administration, because normally IV after IV administration 100% of drug is available for its activity, but after oral administration about 60 to 70% of drug is only and only available for absorption or for its systemic effect. Next is this bioavailability is one of a parameter to measure rate and extent of absorption. So there are sorry okay there are some factor influencing absorption of drug into your body. Means there are number of factor which are related to drug and which are related to patient, which are affecting or influencing absorption of drug into your body. These factors are divided into, first of all we'll see drug related factor, and afterwards we'll go for patient related factor. It is also referred as a drug related factor as a physical properties of drug. So there are three properties, or there are three uh, factors which influence absorption of drug into your body. First is physical state of drug, second is particle size, and third is formulation. So how physical state of drug is affecting absorption of drug into your body? So there are physical state. Physical state means there are three state of drug. First is liquid, solid and gases. So lipid as compared to solid, liquids are absorbed better than solid, because for liquid there is no need to disintegration or any breaking down of liquid, but for solid there is a process of disintegration and breaking down for that solid, and afterwards it is, that is afterwards it get dissolved into your uh, body fluid, and afterwards it is absorbed into your body. But for liquid there is no need for such all that procedure, and that's why liquids are absorbed better than solid. Next is crystalloid absorb better than colloid. Furthermore, aqueous solutions are more quickly absorbed than oily solution. Aqueous solutions are absorbed more quickly than your oily solution. For example, you know about insulin. So insulin, there are two forms of insulin. Soluble insulin suspension, it is absorbed rapidly than insoluble protamine zinc insulin suspension. Okay, so in short, liquid or aqueous solutions plus crystalloids are absorbed more quickly than solid, colloid and oily solution. Next form is particle size of drug. So particle size, smaller the particle size, greater is the absorption of drug. So smaller particle size provide greater surface area of given weight of drug, and that's why it improves its absorption. In short, whenever we are giving a small amount of drug, sorry, a small particle size of drug, it is providing a greater surface area. This concept is already clear into your pharmaceutics, and that's why it is providing a greater absorbing surface area for its absorption. For example, corticosteroid or antibiotics are there. For example, chloramphenicol, griseofulvin, or oral anticoagulants are there, which are having smaller particle size, and that's why they are absorbing largely. Then in short, if you want to reduce the dose of drug, if you want to reduce a dose of drug, then you can simply reduce a particle size of drug. In short, decrease the particle size, increase the absorption rate. Decrease particle size, it increases the absorption rate of that drug. Next is formulation. So in formulation of drug, there are number of ingredients are used in the formulation of drug. For example, you are using lactose, sucrose, starch, calciums are there, lactates are there. These ingredients are used as a inert diluent. So whenever we are using it, we have to take precautions, because there are some reasons. For example, whenever we are using calcium or magnesium like agents, they are reducing absorption of some drug. For example, tetracycline are there, which in decreases absorption, means calcium and magnesium presence decreases absorption of tetracycline. Plus you can increase absorption of some drug by increasing degree of ionization, by increasing lipid and water partition coefficient. Plus non-ionized drug, you can give non-ionized form of drug, and smaller particle size or smaller molecular size of any drug can increase absorption of that drug. Then insolubility in both water and lipid prevents absorption of drug. If you are giving any drug and it is insoluble in both water and lipid, then it prevent absorption of that drug. So these are some drug related factor which influencing absorption of your drug into your body. Then second point is physiological factor, and these are all patient related factor. So first they have given that a concentration. So concentration is higher the concentration of drug, better the absorption. If you are giving high concentration of drug, then it is easily absorbed into your body. Then second is absorbing surface. Absorbing surface is normally your GI mucosa or GI system. Absorption of drug from highly vascular membrane. For example, highly vascular means wherever there is a presence of vascular structure, that is capillary structure is there. For example, into your mouth, intestine, they are highly vascular structure. So from that area, the absorption is rapid as compared to low vascular area regions, for example muscles and all. So drugs are easily absorbed from small intestine than from stomach, because stomach is not so vascular, and stomach is providing a smaller area for absorption, but intestine is providing a larger area for absorption, and that's the reason number of drug or 90% of drug are absorbing from intestine and not from stomach. Then third point is pH of GI fluid. So pH is about pH. Stomach has a different pH, that is it has a acidic pH. Intestine has a different pH, that is it has a basic pH. So whenever we are administering a weakly acidic drug, they are rapidly absorbed from the stomach as they exist in the acidic media, and that's why they act rapidly after oral administration. Weakly acidic drug absorbed from stomach because they are in the acidic media. Example is salicylate and barbiturate. Then second is weakly basic drug are not absorbed from stomach. Why? Because they are basic in nature. But whenever they reaches to your alkaline media, that is whenever they reaches to your intestine, they get easily, small intestine, then they get easily absorbed, and that's why there is quite delay in absorption of drug after oral administration. Plus, strong acidic and strongly basic drug are not absorbed, or they are poorly absorbed from your small intestine, because these drugs are highly ionized, and that's why we are preferring weak acidic and weakly basic drug. Okay, then next is GI transit time. GI transit means how much time the drug is present into your GIT. So whenever there is a presence of food, volume, viscosity or tonicity of your gastric content, they can influence absorption of drug, and that's why they can alter gastric emptying time. For example, your empty stomach is providing a rapid absorption, but whenever there is a presence of food, viscosity, tonicity, whatever, if there is a content is there, then it influence absorption of drug into your body. Plus, whenever there is an increased peristaltic activity, whenever there is an increased peristaltic activity, as in the case of diarrhea, it reduces drug absorption. I think you are aware of what is peristaltic activity. Then next is presence of other agent, for example vitamin C. It enhance absorption of oral iron whenever they are given in GIT. Okay, but phthalate retarded. Same, we have also seen the example of calcium. Whenever there is a presence of calcium in the milk and antacid, then it form a insoluble complex with tetracycline, and that's why it reduces absorption of that tetracycline. The next point is disease state. Whenever there is a different disease state, it alter absorption of drug. For example, absorption and first pass metabolism may be affected in condition like malabsorption, then thyrotoxicity, and next is cirrhosis of liver. So malnutrition or cirrhosis of liver, all these conditions lead to decrease absorption and first pass metabolism of number of drug. For also, any physiological change in absorbing area can alter the absorption. For example, in the case of diarrhea. Then in the vascular collapse, subcutaneous administration, subcutaneously administered drug are not properly absorbed. And the last one is enterohepatic cycling. Enterohepatic cycling is nothing but it is circulation of drug. Whenever we are administering a oral drug, then circulation of drug from intestine to liver and from liver to intestine. The continuous cycling of drug from liver to intestine, it is called as enterohepatic cycling, and because of this it lead to increased viability of that drug, and that's why it may prolong the action of some drug. Okay, so these are factor which influencing the absorption of drug. In this diagram you can also see there are number of factors are there, that is dissolution, disintegration, particle size is there, area. Look, there is a area, that is intestine is there, liver is there, liver is enterohepatic cycling. Then vascularity, that is vascularity represent absorbing surface. Disease, that is your disease state. Presence of food is GI gastric time, GI motility is there. Afterwards there is a presence of other drugs are there. Okay, this point is remaining. So whenever there is a presence of other drugs are there, whenever we are going for administration of one or more drug at the same time, then it may alter absorption of one drug. Then lipid soluble drug are more easily absorbed than water soluble drug. Formulation is there, pH and ionization. So we have already covered all these factors. So with this point we are completed with absorption point. So in next lecture we'll go for distribution part of pharmacokinetic.